everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and I am participating in this month's Mixed Media Frenzy YouTube Hop. It happens every month, the last Friday of the month, and there's a list of participants in the description box below, so you can see how everybody else used this really cool vintage layout by Olga Bielska as inspiration for our mixed media layouts this month. And if you want to participate, come head to the Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook group, and all you have to do is wait for Krista to ask who wants to play along for the month, and you just put your YouTube channel or your Instagram, whichever, because I know not everybody has a YouTube channel, and you can play along with us. So it's a lot of fun, and this one was definitely a challenge because Olga has a beautiful page. You can clearly tell that she did a lot of mixed media work, not just on, I think, the background paper, but even on some of the embellishments. I like mixed media, but I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm like a professional, and I don't do a lot of it. So I just decided to kind of be inspired a little by the colors that are on Olga's layout. She has a lot of like cool gear type looking embellishments, and when I saw those, I thought, okay, like wooden chipboard pieces, that's kind of what it reminded me of. And then I also had some leftover cork, self-adhesive cork from a paper issues kit, and I thought maybe I could do something with that. And the background is like a wood grain, and so I had this white wood grain from, I think it was Eva and Viv. I got it from scrapbook.com, and I'm like, maybe I'll just add a little bit of brown ink so that I can just give it even more of like a weathered look. And I probably could have done more. I actually am not fond of that brown color, and I don't know if it's because it got mixed with another color, like with the daubers or something. I wasn't being careful, but it almost comes out like a purpley brown. It's kind of weird. So if you guys have recommendations for a really good brown ink pad, please let me know in the comments. And then on top of that brown ink, I did some of my Nuvo Gold Mica Mist, just a little bit of splattering on there. You can't totally tell from right here. You can see them a little bit at the top, but if you get close, you definitely can see. So this layout's all about whites, browns, and golds for me. I also took, there's a single photo in Olga's, so I picked a single photo in mine, and mine's a bit bigger than hers. Mine's a standard 4x6. So then I also had some papers from a 6x6 paper pad from Honeybee Stamps, and I just layered some of those up behind the photo. So one's sort of like an orangey fall brownish sort of color, and then the other one is white, and I did ink the edges of the paper and the photo in that same brown ink. I really like inking edges of things because it does make them stand out a little bit more, especially when you have something like that white background. The white pattern paper might have gotten a little bit lost, so it just really defines the edges and defines each individual piece a little bit better. So I've got some chipboard pieces that were just from my stash. I'm not going to do anything to them. If I had like a gold embossing powder, I might have done that, but I don't. I literally have like 3 or 4 embossing powder colors. I just don't do it that often. I love the way it looks, but I just don't do it that often. So maybe that's something that I should put on like my Christmas list, is ask for some embossing powder colors, because it's not something that I would probably like go out and buy myself, because I would much rather have like the stickers and the papers and those kinds of things, or just the pre-made embellishments so that I don't have to do any work. But mixed media is about doing a little bit of work. So anywho, I also put together a paper bow from Pink Fresh Studio, and I picked that because I had a big bag of them in my stash, and I rarely use them because, again, it's a lot of work and it's a pain. It's a pain to put those together. It's one of probably the only scrapbook supplies that I've ever regretted purchasing. But, you live, you learn. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever purchased a crafting supply that you just hated, and let me know what it is so we don't go buy it. I'm also throwing in some white and brown twine that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, surprisingly. So I just like that because it's going to add a little bit of extra something. It's got that same color scheme with the browns. And here's the cork board. You saw that I tried to use a paper punch to go through the cork board. Cork board was a little thick. So what I'm doing, and the top one is, you can't see because of the the original scrapbook layout is on top of it. But what I used a little like Nuvo drop bottle, and I just traced a circle and just hand cut the circle out. So that that worked out well. I had hoped to do something different than a circle. I was hoping to do like a different shape, but obviously the corkboard is just too thick for any punches. And so circles it was, hand cut circles it was. I also have these two white snowflake brads, and I'm using those because they're color white. And you're probably like, what are the snowflakes? There's no like snow in that picture. So the picture was taken in September at my company's big holiday event where we announce all the hot toys for the holiday season. So it's sort of, Christmassy, holiday-y related. And so that's why I threw the snowflakes in. One year we actually had paper snowflakes hanging from the ceiling of the expo center, and it was really, really cool. So, but this year there wasn't really much of a theme. But ever since COVID, like this is, I think, this was the first in-person event that I have been to since 2019. And so, ever since COVID, I don't think we're ready to like do full out events. We're still, working with restrictions, especially in New York. Everybody has to be vaccinated to go inside these places, and we're just trying to make everybody feel safe and keep distance. So we didn't have any hanging snowflakes for this one, but maybe next year as things hopefully continue to get better. And I'm also adding a little fox head, and why? Because it was on my desk, and I was like, hey, those colors are kind of a good match with everything. And sometimes that's how I scrapbook. I'm not going to lie. I just sometimes bring random bits and bobs, like that gold key. It doesn't have anything to do with the photo. It's just golden. So like I was literally going through some of my older embellishments and looking for things that were the same color scheme or that might fit. And so here we are. I used the celebration word. That's an American craft. I think it was part of a Jen Hadfield collection. And I used it because we're sort of celebrating. It was the event. We're celebrating the hot toys, so I thought that sort of fit, right? And then I was going to put it more, the word more together over the picture, but with all the embellishments that I had stacked up on that right-hand side, I decided that I was going to separate the word into two sections as I did. And then I'm adding some sequins, and this is an old Cocoa Vanilla Studio sequins mix, but it has some gold pieces in it, some white and some gold, and so I'm just kind of picking a few. Actually, some of them are a little like orangey, and since that background paper is a little orangey brown, I decided that I would throw a couple of those colors in too, and I just like that they give it a little bit of extra shine to go along with that gold mica mist. And from there, I also have some champagne-colored pops of color. I think that's what Scrapbook.com calls them. It's like their own brand of Nuvo drops. So that's a gold color. So I'm going to add a couple little squirts or dots of that going around here once I get the sequins all down. I'm using mini or bling Zats. Yeah, Zats bling to adhere all of the sequins, and there you can see more of the cluster that's going on the upper left-hand side. So I've got an upper left and a bottom right set of clusters, and so that keeps things on the diagonal. I like that, you've got the upper as well as the upper sort of weathered inking look with the bottom one, again, on the diagonal. If you guys have any questions about the products that I'm using or the techniques that I did, please leave those in the comments below and I will get back to you. And don't forget to check out what everybody else has created for this month's Mixed Media Frenzy. I love seeing how everybody's pages turn out so differently and how everyone is inspired each month in such a different way. So yeah, I would love for you guys to, participate in the hop. And leave comments on give everybody's videos a thumbs up like, and if you find some scrapbookers that you do like, or some new crafters that you've never watched before, consider subscribing to their channel. Same with me. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. I'm super excited to have you here, and I'm almost to 600 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I might have to do something for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so, because then you won't miss out on other scrapbook process videos or other tutorial videos or whatnot, whatever fun scrappy stuff that I put on here, haul videos and all sorts of things. So I would love to have you be part of the Cook Scrap Craft community. And I also have social media links below, so come follow me there. So that's the layout for today. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!